Folgt's finished development on that battle gear of his. Get back to Mother Base.
Da werden wir uns also das direkt anschauen erstmal. Habe ich auch schon gefragt, warum Batte Gear nicht quasi vor der Mission 31 fertig geworden ist. Ob das die nicht fahren kann. Ja.
The battle gear is an armored weapon developed to take on hostile bipedal weapon systems. But unlike the Soviet-funded Walker gear, the battle gear still hasn't been properly field tested. I'd like to assign a combat unit to take it on dispatch missions, so that we can evaluate its capabilities and reliability. Assuming you've got no objections, give the order to dispatch the unit from your iDroid.
Monster Hunter Rise spielt jemand von mir. Müsste mal unbedingt auch wieder Monster Hunter weiterspielen, aber ich komme gerade nicht dazu. Versucht dann Februar dann weiter spätestens weiter wieder zu streamen. Weil ich hatte noch Prüfungen Ende des Monats, beziehungsweise würde sie gerne machen. Oh, warte, was mache ich denn da? Ich könnte auch die... Ja, was soll der jetzt?
Snake!
Also ich konnte ja gar nicht aktivieren. Entschuldigung. Dann habe ich das Ding abgebrochen, deswegen. Kartenkurzbefehle.
We're having Code Talker continue his parasite research. He's clearly very grateful to you. I'm sure he'll return the favor somehow.
Jetzt habe ich falsch was... hat der Typ irgendwas gesagt, was ich jetzt aber weggemacht habe. Also ich weiß jetzt nicht, was er jetzt sagen wollte.
Please select a mission.
Nochmal eine kleine Mission. Nicht viel, einfacher Detail.
Please select a mission.
Also ich kann den Typ hier gerade nicht schicken. Weil ich es auch nur für irgendwie Lobby-Missionen.
Please specify a project.
Gucken. Ich glaube, ich bin mal wieder an die Batte. Da fehlt mir aber Knete.
This is yellow cake that Cypher was having the PFs transport. Before we met you, the boss recovered it from a truck crossing the savannah. Are there metallic archaea inside it?
Yes, the archaea metabolize uranium-235 to subsist. They must be stored inside yellow cake, or they cannot survive.
So those biological traces we took for impurities were actually the real cargo.
Of course, they are deactivated, so they do not trigger a sudden enrichment. They are like baker's yeast. Yet, they do gradually enrich the uranium as they feed. I imagine you detected weapons-grade traces.
Yeah, we did.
And the malachite that was loaded on the truck had traces of uranium in it too. So that's the flower, huh? Skullface was gonna sell do-it-yourself nuke kits. The uranium-enriching archaea complete with the user's manual. And the ores with the uranium could be sourced by the client or provided by Cypher.
Even the trace amounts buried in common ores can be enriched to weapons-grade uranium by the metallic archaea. Proving that must have been the most important factor of the trials.
Analysis complete.
That and the ability to successfully prevent detonation.
So if the amounts of uranium in the ores are low enough, they can get past any inspection. And you only need a tiny amount of the archaea to act as the yeast. No great.
Sekunde.
Thank you for getting rid of the disease.
Challenge to smuggle that either. The first step towards saturating the world with nukes.
His plan. That was not my intention. My only goal in developing the metallic archaea was to save the Dene.
What made you think a tool for creating undetectable nuclear weapons would save your people?
After 70 years, the Dene reclaimed the Navajo nation from which we were banished. We bore all the hardships of poverty, but we were proud to live off the land we called our own. But in the moment the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, everything changed.
I don't get it.
The nuclear arms race between the US and the Soviet Union began with the end of the Second World War. Suddenly, there was a massive demand for uranium. And it was our ill fortune that the ground beneath the Navajo Nation was rich with uranium.
What made you think a tool for creating...
All these fighting his favors. Revenge was his only reason for getting up in the morning. And he got his revenge. And it didn't bring back anything he lost. Now he's left with this rage he doesn't know what to do with.
Yeah, just wish he wouldn't direct it at us.
You got that right.
Boss, any chance of expanding the base?
Analysis complete.
Boss, if you need supplies, let us know.
Analysis complete.
Undetectable nuclear weapons would save your people.
But in them,
I don't get it.
began with the suddenly. Anna government said, and it was massive demand for uranium. And it was our ill fortune that the ground beneath the Navajo Nation was rich with uranium ore. The Black Anna government set up mine after mine, and many of the Diné worked them, never informed of any danger. Every day, they went to work with no protection. The slag was simply piled out in the open. When rain fell, uranium traces left behind would seep out, and when the ground dried, it was blown about as dust. Land and water were contaminated, irradiated. Many of us became sick and died. That pain lives on to this day.
I had no idea.
Wanting more than anything to revive the land my forebears left to me, I was delighted upon discovering microbes that eat uranium. If they could be domesticated, I believed we could rid our land of uranium.
Were you successful?
No.
Analysis
The
complete.
research called for funding on a colossal scale. But nobody was willing to invest with no prospect of a return.
And that's when Skullface showed up.
Correct.
How we're all
I can save you and your people. We share the same will. The one.
You?
The ex-wife took him. Never doing that again. I feel bad for guys who wanted to have him, though. Of course, most of them probably gave up on the idea of family life when they joined. Still, beats dying. Or being a mutant.
What made you think a tool for creating undetectable...
Agana forced me to abandon my uranium. That is what he save you, correct? But nobody was willing to invest with no prospect of a return.
And that's when Skullface showed up.
Correct. I can save you and your people. We share the same will. That is what he said to me. And I believed him. Black Anna forced me to abandon my uranium cleanup work and focus on nuclear weapons. And he held all the Diné hostage. Today, the uranium mines within the reservation are finally closing down. It is simply less expensive now to source uranium overseas.
New victims, different places.
But uranium is a tactical resource. To rely on a foreign country for it is a difficult decision to make. And he was in the perfect place to influence that decision.
He could have condemned your people to the mines forever.
The contamination comes not only from uranium. The fallout from the Nevada nuclear tests also settled on our lands. As if our fortune were not already bad enough. We are also downwinders. To save the Diné, I must complete my original research. The one that covers the parasite that lives on the surface of the skull's bodies is what gives them their power. similar to my children who live in my skin. I modified the parasites I isolated from the body of that old man, differentiating them with various abilities. One that can blend perfectly into its surroundings by exposing the pigments in its cells at will. Another that, by harboring multiple species of metallic archaea, can oxidize and reduce metal. Isolating the one that covers and transplanting it into an artificial medium should provide the same abilities as the skulls, but they can only subsist within a human body. Once transplanted into the medium, they will eventually die. Another thing, the weakness of the one that covers is desiccation. Their surface moisture loss is greater than ours. The reason they give off mist is to alleviate this by releasing the salts inside them as microparticles. Water vapor condenses around them, appearing as mist. But this dries out the atmosphere until they cannot even produce mist. And once their supply of water from the host runs out, the parasites are in danger. They, along with their host, enter a form of suspended animation. However, a similar effect occurs if they come into contact with a large amount of water. Rain, for instance. The one that covers will temporarily abandon other processes in his eagerness to absorb the water.
Analysis complete.
Make the weather your ally.
Analysis complete.
Morning, boss. Boss!
Got time to train with me?
Analysis complete.
Nur noch ein paar Kassetten anhören.
Hewitt's dug up some interesting facts about our skull-faced friend. 9 years ago, he was exiled to South Africa, stripped of political power. The upshot's that he ceased being a serious threat, in Cypher's eyes anyway. They eased up on surveillance, giving him an opening to establish his own military unit, one that answered to his will alone. Those men likely had no idea their orders were coming from Skullface. They probably didn't even know the organization was a part of Cypher at all. Anyway, it was in South Africa where he found renewed interest in parasites. And when he discovered the vocal cord parasites, he began to make his plan. Wipe the English language out of existence. Free the world, not by taking men's lives, but by taking their tongues. In his eyes, the greatest symbiotic parasite the world's ever known isn't microbial. It's linguistic. Words are what keeps civilization, our world, alive.
There was something Skullface said. America is made up of many peoples, but those peoples never mix. Quite so. One nation, home to hundreds of different ethnic groups, many of whom stick to their respective living areas, little colonies, not interacting with other groups, going out of their way to avoid one another, their land, organizations, relationships. Thus, the United States of America is no melting pot. It is more of a salad bowl.
Analysis
It is
complete.
not made up from one people,
Analysis
but for its
complete.
minorities to function in society, a common ground is needed. Language. Even if the country is not one. Because it's not one, a lingua franca is necessary. English. American hegemonism was born from the illusion that English could unite diverse ethnicities. In taking in people from around the globe, America became a microcosm of it, Now the boundaries between it and the rest of the world have become blurred. However different our neighbors may be, English enables us to create symbiotic relationships with each other. If English can bring unacquainted neighbors together in America, this should hold true for the world. This salad bowl that is the world can also become one. I have spoken enough. Your men can take it from here. Will you permit me to rest? Have something to eat?
I thought you don't eat.
I can subsist without food. But there is more to the act of eating than nourishment. We receive nature's blessings, and we affirm our part in it. And in doing so,
Analysis complete.
we express our gratitude.
Analysis complete.
Sorry, it's, hearing you say you don't need to eat and that you're part of nature in the same breath. Anyway, what can we get you? Not exactly a 5-star restaurant, but the kitchen's used to serving a lot of different appetites.
Hamburgers.
Hamburgers?
Even we Dinne have become Americanized. I eat them often back home.
And you just can't let them go. Well, as far as symbols of the American Empire go, hamburgers are pretty good. The victory of capitalism. Your people suffered so much at the hands of America. And you ask for hamburgers.
We have suffered more than you can know. But I do not see hamburgers as an accomplice. A single dish, providing a balanced helping of nature's blessings. Meat, grain, and vegetable. How could anyone hate such a magnificent thing?
Says the guy who can survive on photosynthesis. Balance has nothing to do with it. You just like a good burger.
That is also true. Be warned, though. I have very high standards.
Don't worry. I do too. All right then. One good old-fashioned all-American icon coming up.
I look forward to it.
Ja. Wow. Der Hamburger in die Welt. Zack. Da warte mal, der fremde Mann.
You mentioned that the man on fire was crushed under Sahelanthropus in its hangar.
Yeah. He was caught under the wheels of its transport platform.
But his body wasn't found.
What?
We searched the area the moment we arrived, but there was no trace of him.
I wasn't hallucinating.
I know. I trust you on that. That means someone must have taken the body. But when I got there, everything was still as it was. Even Skullface hadn't been.
I wasn't hallucinating.
We searched the area the moment we arrived, but there was no trace of him.
I wasn't hallucinating.
I know. I trust you on that. That means someone must have taken the body. But when I got there, everything was still as it was. Even Skullface hadn't been touched. I can't see a reason to sneak into a place like that and drag out the biggest, heaviest guy there.
What are you getting at?
The only option left is he got up and walked away.
That platform ran him over.
Just ran him over.
You're saying that's not enough?
I don't want to believe it, but maybe not. He shrugs off bullets, even rocket strikes. There's no reason to think that would finish him. It seems ridiculous, but I'll start gathering eyewitness accounts just in case.
If you dig up anything concrete, I want to know.
You'll be the first, if I dig anything up. But I hope to hell I don't.
No kidding.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Wir müssen die Raketen ein bisschen ausprobieren. Was soll das? Ey, was soll das? Ja, brauche erstmal Knete. Aber ich mache doch ein paar FOP-Missionen.
What's up, boss?
Analysis complete.
Ich das irgendwie auf der Mother Base nicht so da.
Please select a landing zone. Please select landing zone
Roger.
confirmed.
Wir werden auch gleich gucken, ob wir Eli sehen können.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Boss, got time to train with me?
This is B-Quad. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
Ja, das ist, glaube ich, Ellie. Oder Eli. Ja, Eli. Ich sage immer Ellie. Ja, das ist da. Die Kinderplattform scheint eh irgendwo oben zu sein. Wir rankommen können wir nicht.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Ein Rohdiamanten, wow. Der spielt.
Boss, we need evidence to prove our suspicions about Emmerich. Head to the central base camp in Afghanistan and recover that AI pod. It's time we purge Diamond Dogs of that traitorous parasite once and for all.
Please select a mission.
Das ist eine Nebenoperation. E-Einheit raus. Das machen wir mal noch nicht. Ich gehe jetzt über den FVP mit Extra-Mission bei das Neues.
Please select a mission. Unit dispatched.
Ich bin kurz auf Klo. Ich lasse mal kurz noch Musik laufen und den Stream laufen. Bis gleich. So, ich bin wieder da. Kann man mich hören? Hallo? Ich höre mich gerade irgendwie nicht. Ich höre mich gerade irgendwie nicht. Okay, ich glaube, ich kann mich jetzt hören. Irgendwie nicht. Okay, ich glaube, ich kann mich jetzt hören. Irgendwie nicht. Na gut, ich mache das nochmal neu. So, letzter Test. Ich mach das nochmal neu. So, letzter Test. Ich mach das nochmal neu. Gut, das ist jetzt nochmal letzter Test gewesen. Jetzt funktioniert das. Das ist vielleicht einfach eine kleine Verzögerung. Ja, das hat eine Verzögerung. Aufnahme habe ich hier gestartet. Dann geht es jetzt weiter. Wir haben immer noch ein kleines Geldproblem. Wir machen die nächsten Tage recht teuer.